Hi, I wanted to share why I joined Voxxlife. So I have MS, so I really was looking for something that was natural that would help me with my symptoms, especially balance, which is my number one thing. So I was looking, I found a video on YouTube, and then I found somebody who did Voxxlife in Florida, so I called her. And then these are the questions I asked her. First, I asked her for her testimony. So she had an amazing testimony. Turns out she has MS too, and it's changed her life. So that was good. That's number one. And then I wanted to know about like more of the particulars of the company, who and where and what. And they're a Canadian company, and Jay Dollywall started it a few years back, but he launched it about a year before I joined. So it was a pretty new company, so that always makes me like, oh, that's kind of, I don't know, puts a check in my mind. So then she said the website's free, so that's important because when there's a monthly website fee, that really adds up. The product is super unique, and it's not just unique, it's literally cannot be replicated. They have patented it in lots and lots of countries. Even though we're not open for sale there yet, it's still patented. And then they've also encrypted the technology, so someone can't like come around and just steal it or come up with something similar. It's very unique, and that's really, really important when you're thinking about joining a company. And then I asked her, well, it's like, how sure are you this company is going to keep going? And she said, that Jay was so committed to this product. He's had lots of offers to buy it and buy the technology, and he is just never going to do that, let that happen. And I know now, after hearing Jay talk about it so many times, that I'm meeting him personally, that's never going to happen. So that made me feel really confident. The other one was like, how successful are you? So like, what's happening with this company? Is it making headway? Because it's introducing a new product to the market is hard, right? So at that time, which was like almost 2 years ago, they had about 1 million in sales. So that was pretty good. I mean, 1 million customers, so more in sales. But and then right now we're about 3.2 million. So that's been about 20 months or so since I've started. So that was good. So I felt really comfortable with that. And then how much is it to get started? Because how some of these companies, it's like they want $500, $1,000, who knows what, But it was like only $40 was like the lowest buy-in you could get. So that sounded reasonable for somebody who wasn't sure it was going to work for me. How effective is it? So then, it was kind of like a try it and see kind of thing. And Dawn happened to be one of the first distributors in the US. She's from Canada, but she lives here, and she was one of the first distributors. So we didn't have tons of testimonials at that point. We had some. But now that with the studies that have been coming out, one of the doctors was talking at one of the events I was at, and he said this technology has the most astronomical effective rate as far as like changing your brain. The brain comes into a more balanced state, and he says it's 99.999999 effective. So this wasn't what, I didn't know that at the time, but I thought I just, kind of roll the dice and see how this works out. Well, now I'm like so excited because all the studies and the more data we're getting and the more doctors that are coming on board are really confirming the effectiveness, and they've got data to back it up, and they're writing papers and doing tests and all this stuff. So that's super cool. And then the last thing that really was, it's like, okay, so Jay's mom had MS or has MS. And so his actual why, or his reason he got started looking at, this technology, or trying to find a cure for his mom. And I'm like, wow, it's like, how ironic is that, that he's doing this to help people with MS, and here I am with MS. So all those things put together kind of, I was like, why not? I'll just join and see what happens. So that's not the way you should do it. But I mean, at that point, I was already doing something else, and I was pretty committed to that. And I was like, well, you know, it doesn't hurt to just check it out and see if it helps me. So I kind of sat on my hands for, well, I wouldn't say sat on my hands, but I didn't really do much with it. I wasn't sure if it was working for me. I tried, you know, helping my family with socks and insoles and stuff, and they kind of weren't that receptive to it, and that was kind of frustrating because they really need it. And then I finally, like 6 months later, sent some socks to one of my best friends who was having a tremendous amount of pain, and I really didn't think they were going to do anything for her, but it totally changed her life. Night and day difference. She went from a 10 in pain and shaking and just miserable and it was terrible, to no pain, and her life has changed and turned around completely. So, you know, it took me a while to get going, and I feel like it was a long process kind of, but it was okay. You know, it's like it is what it is, and that, you know, I needed more time to learn and study and see other people's reactions. Then what really changed it for me, other than Irene, which Irene had, you know, her results made all the difference for me. But then I met Jen a few months later, and then she did a balance test on me. And when she did the balance test, for me, it proved that it was working, because I couldn't tell a huge difference. And it's just, and that's just the truth of it. I mean, sometimes people have these dramatic, miraculous, amazing, you know, like heaven shone down on them results. But, you know, a lot of us just have very kind of hard to notice results unless you know, someone else is watching, or someone else is kind of, you know, doing the balance assessment or something. It's tricky. So, you know, I was sharing because I saw my friends having results, and not just Irene, but a lot of my friends had really amazing results. And, you know, the joy that I got through that experience was worth it, even if I never felt like it was going to work for me. Even before I had the balance assessment test, it didn't matter, because I love to help people. It puts a joy in my soul like I can't even explain. So, and then later I found out that, or later we actually started a practitioner program. So doctors can join, and they get this big discount, and they have a special like website just for them. And then the doctors that are involved in our company, because we have like an advisory board with some top-notch doctors in there, and then they lead these other doctors and show them how to do everything, and how to use this product for their patients and stuff. So I thought that was super awesome. And then the last thing that's really, really cool about us that I've never heard of before is that we offer a free fundraising option. So like if you have a club or a nonprofit and you want to raise funds for them, we give you a free website link, and then whomever buys socks through your website, the profit goes to your charity. I mean, that's super cool. I just thought that was really awesome, and in keeping with the Vox whole idea of we're really here to help people and get this, you know, the product out there so people's lives are changed. So that is why I am with Voxxlife. I hope you know, you guys consider joining too. It's a huge mission we have. We want to get it out to 1 billion people or more, you know, and and we're just getting started. So it is completely a ground level opportunity, and we need help. So please come and help us. We would love to have you. Okay, talk to you later. Bye-bye.